Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another Yukon Bob video. Just getting the truck loaded up in the yard this morning. Heading out for a couple of days on the Sea-Doo. A couple of back-to-back days on the Sea-Doo. It's going to be a little bit of Sea-Doo camping, but not actually camping off the Sea-Doo. I'm going to be in a provincial park for tonight and Sea-Dooing all day today, and then Sea-Dooing all day tomorrow. It looks like we've got a pretty good weather window up on Georgian Bay, and it's an area of Georgian Bay that I have been to before, but also another area that I haven't been to before. So 2 days of touring around the beautiful waters of Georgian Bay, and going to be driving up to a place called Sturgeon Bay Provincial Campground. It's about 3 hours away from here, so a bit of a drive to get up there, thus spending a night and having 2 days instead of just 1 day. Got a fair amount of stuff loaded in the truck. Sometimes you need as much for just 1 day of camping as you do for 2 or 3 days of camping. So we're going to be bringing the gas, we're going to be bringing the cooler, going to be bringing all kinds of gear on this trip and lots of video gear. So I'm going to be traveling with my buddy Greg, who I've traveled with before. He's going to be traveling with me over the next couple of days, and we're going to meet up at Sturgeon Bay Provincial Park in just a bit. We will see you up there. We'll tell you more about this trip as we go along. Well, wouldn't you know it, just as we arrive at Sturgeon Lake Provincial Park, the raindrops start coming down. Just light little bit of rain, but some raindrops nonetheless. So this is it. This is Sturgeon Bay Provincial Park, about 3 hours from home, a little less than that. It's not much of a launch here. It's pretty crappy actually, but it'll be enough to get the Sea-Doos into the water. It's kind of broken a little bit here, and then it's gravel just off the end. Little place to tie up, and pretty shallow through here as well, but we can get out that way, and then that takes us out onto Georgian Bay, so it'll work. It's not the best. It's all included with your park fee for the night, so that works out okay. What do you think, Greg? A little rain, eh?
No, we're gonna get really bad here.
Is it gonna get wet?
Really bad.
Oh my God.
It's coming. We gotta wait till that passes.
We do.
Because we're gonna get creamed.
That's a pretty big system.
Yeah, and then it clears up kind of
right behind it?
Yeah.
I never really looked all that closely at the actual weather forecast. I was looking at wind, and the wind is going to be pretty calm, and it is pretty calm. But yeah, there's a big rain system coming. It's looking on radar. It's coming over us. So I don't think that we're going to get in the water until that goes by, which may be a half an hour, 40 minutes. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Well, that's a little bit of a drag. You drive 3 hours, you get here, and then it looks like we're going to be delayed maybe as much as an hour to wait for this storm system to pass overhead. Had a big storm system last night as well where I live, and apparently there was a fair amount of flooding and stuff like that. So this looks on radar about the same as what I saw last night, so I don't want to be out in that. That'll be heavy rain at some point. So we'll just wait for that to go by. We're just on the edge of it right now. And there is yellow in it, and there is even a little bit of orange or red. So that's heavy rain.
Heavy rain.
So we are just sitting in the truck looking at radar maps, looking at weather, and it's looking like we may have misjudged this thing a little bit. Yeah, it's calm, but it's calm and pouring rain. There's a big system over top of us, and it's looking like it could be hours before it passes. So we're sitting at, what time is it, Greg?
It's 11 o'clock.
It's 11 o'clock in the morning, and it could be 2 or 3 in the afternoon before this lets up. And it's so heavy right now. You know, there's the orange bands and the yellow bands in the radar, which indicates heavier rain. So we're kind of sitting here right at the dock, right at the launch, and just sitting in the vehicle waiting for things to get better, and they may not get better for several hours. And then there's also the chance of some rain again overnight. So I don't know. I don't know what the heck we're going to do. We've driven 3 hours to get here, and now we've got this, and it's going to get even a little bit heavier than we're seeing right now. So we're thinking about it. We're thinking about things. Well, we have made a decision, and it's not one I wanted to make, but I went back to the campground office and asked for my money back because we'd only been here about 40 minutes. She said, no, we can't do that. You can only cancel 24 hours in advance. And then the manager got involved, and she said, yeah, we can do that. We can cancel. So they gave us our money back. I'll get the money back for tonight. But it's going to rain. This system is going to take at least 3-4 hours to go by. So we got to sit here for 3 or 4 hours. It's just too long. So what we're going to do, the plan is, we're going to go back to Parry Sound, which is 50 kilometers south of here. It looks like the system is going to the north of us, so we should not have rain in Parry Sound. We'll get to Parry Sound, we'll make some sort of decision whether we want to launch into the water there. It's just that I've done Parry Sound quite a few times, and I was hoping for somewhere different on Georgian Bay, something a little different, and that's just not going to happen. But sometimes that's what you get in these situations, and we had to adapt and make new plans. So it's still raining, it's coming down, and it will rain for 3-4 hours. So let's go down to Parry Sound, backtrack a little ways, and see what we can come up with from there. Okay, we've arrived in Parry Sound. What a difference 30 kilometers south of that system makes. It's cleared right up. We were in very heavy rain, and then it just kind of cleared up as we got into Parry Sound. This is the harbor in Parry Sound. There's I think that's called Tailwinds. It's a pretty good restaurant. The new Henry's Fish and Chips on the water is just down there, that blue building. And you can see by the flag there is a little bit of wind. It's not all that strong, but there's no rain. So I think what we're going to do is end up having lunch and then kind of figure out a game plan as to what the heck we're going to do. Parry Sound Harbor Seaplane Base. Now, in the past, when we've done a ride, we've come up here to Parry Sound by Sea-Doo a number of times. We've done lots of different videos on that. We just pull right in here, and we'll park right along these docks in here, and just come in here by water. It's perfect because the restaurant's right there. There's the Island Queen over there. That tours around all of Parry Sound. I've chased that boat around on the Sea-Doo a couple of times around the whole Parry Sound area. Takes people out, I think, twice a day on cruises. And in the summertime, this is a beautiful little spot to be. They've got a float plane base right over there on the other side of this restaurant, so you can kind of watch the planes coming in and out and taking off. And if you're sitting outside, you get a beautiful view of this Canadian moose. So we'll have lunch, figure out what to do. Hopefully we can get the Sea-Doos in the water and go for a little ride maybe around here. I'm not sure Greg's going to be into that, but we'll see. You guys might get wet. We just came from 30K up north, and it's pouring up there.
Really?
Yeah. Pouring up there, but not too bad here. A couple little speckles. All right, let's go have lunch.
Eat here or
I think we'll eat here. You see the blue dot is where we are, and that's the system just up above us that we just drove out of. So it kind of looks like this is going to go by us on the top side, but maybe some little bands of a little bit of rain might stretch down a little bit to towards that blue dot is. I'd actually made all these sandwiches for today. I had them in the cooler, and here we are now in a restaurant. This is how plans can change sometimes. So I ordered a Reuben, Greg got the burger, and we're eating at Tailwinds instead of down the lake somewhere off the Sea-Doo. So we've had lunch at the Tailwinds restaurant. We're just going to take a walk down the dockside here in Parry Sound to have a look at the new Henry's Fish and Chips establishment. They have a place on the water that I've talked about before, but they've also now opened a place right here in Parry Sound on the waterfront. And it's just down a few feet from us, so we're going to go down and take a look at it. So this is it here. This is the new Henry's Fish and Chips right on the water in Parry Sound. And they look like they're pretty busy. Beautiful little sitting area right out front with the Muskoka chairs, or the Adirondack chairs, and then outdoor dining here, and the inside is just up over here. Not quite as rustic as the one that's on the water. It's a little more modern, a little more fancy, but then of course it is also brand new. So here's the game plan. We are in Parry Sound, and we are going to get out on the water today. We're going to launch from the salt dock right here. It's a free launch here, and there's parking, all kinds of parking here, and head out onto the Sound in Parry Sound. And not go nearly as far as I had planned on going today on Georgian Bay, but just kind of stick around Parry Sound because that rain system has kind of moved by to the north of us, but there's still a chance of getting a little bit wet. So I think that's the plan. We're just going to unload here, get in the water, and it's going to be a much shorter day than we had planned. Probably 3-4 hours on the water, something like that. So let's get the tarps off and get it in the water. All right, one machine is in the water. Greg just putting his machine in now as well. I guess the water temperature can't be that cold here because there's a lot of people just jumping off right into the water.
It's good.
Nice, refreshing. I thought it was supposed to be 35, 40 degrees today.
No, that was only yesterday and the day before, really.
Were you out here then?
Yeah. Supposed to only get to 26.
26 today. We're going to get on the water anyway. We are on the water. We're going to have maybe 2-3 hours just exploring around the Parry Sound areas. A couple things I wanted to show Greg out this way. And just have some fun out here, I guess, a little bit. And we'll figure out what we're going to do after that. The plan was to be camping up here tonight at Sturgeon Bay Provincial Park, but that's not on now. So I don't know what the plan is, whether we're going back to the city tonight or whether we're getting a hotel, motel. I have camping gear with me, but not tent camping gear. My plan was to just sleep in the truck tonight. I've got all the stuff for sleeping in the truck. So Greg's got a tent. So I don't know what that means. We're gonna have to figure that out. Considering we started at 7 o'clock this morning, it's now 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And as Greg said, about time, finally out on the water. Heavily overcast today, but at least it's not pouring rain right now. Maybe get a little sprinkle or something, we're gonna find out. Let's just go around the sound, check it out. There's a little spot I want to show you where you can get around and back in behind these islands. It's kind of a neat area. So we'll take off and go around and just explore a little bit. Just wanted to give you a little shot of this layered rock look all along the shoreline here in this particular area. Look how the boulders are just sort of stuck underneath there. Then there's the slabs of rock on top, just like it had been layered here. Wow, that's kind of cool. Killbear Provincial Park is way down there on the point. And there's a lot of cottages in this area as well, all throughout here. There's all kinds of cottages through here, but that rock is pretty cool there, all that granite. What a great spot to have a little campfire. And I think they've got enough wood supply there for about 3 years behind them. This is an island out here. We're just gonna go circle around this island. There's a little kind of narrow passageway that goes through, right through here. You come out the other side of the island up here. Wish it was a bit sunnier for you today. I thought it was going to be a lot sunnier. Temperatures I thought were going to be a lot warmer too. I think we're sitting around 24, 25 degrees, something like that. But I thought we were supposed to be in this heat dome today where we were going to be up around 30 to 40 with a humidex, but that's certainly not the case out on the water today. Okay, if I'm giving an award out for best landscaping in your front yard, I think this guy wins. He's done a great job in here with the mulch, the rock work, all the shrubbery. Isn't that nice? Look at that. He's getting the award for the best front yard. That's really nice. And then of course he's got the dock system right out here. And it looks like it's got plastic bumpers. Oh, that's that composite material that's on the dock. Very nice. Even decorated the dock with some plants. Yeah, he gets the award from what I've seen today. Just wanted to show you this, that people who've got cottages that were way up high, a lot of them have built kind of a rail system that you can put provisions on, things like that, and then it's got a motor thing up top, and you can just, like a lift, like a funicular kind of thing. I don't know if it's for people or not, but maybe it is. It could be a thing that you sit in and then it brings you right down to the water. I bet there is. And then you can also bring supplies up there as well, up that, I guess you'd call it a funicular. Not sure you can make this out very well, but there's 3 arms here. There's like 3 long islands. Only one of these arms is a way to get through. You can get through this one right here. The other 2 you can't, but you can come up this one and get into this body of water up here, and that's what we're going to do. I hope you can see that. I don't know if you can see that or not, but we're going to go up on Collins Island or Collins Bay and get back into these lakes up here. Last time I was here a few years ago, it was a sunnier, warmer day, and I went for a little swim up here somewhere in this little river. So this is a no-wake zone through here as well, and there are people out on the dock, so let's slow it up. Yeah, that was just ever so slight, but I did touch bottom right there. The water is so black and murky here, it's hard to see. It says it's 2.4 meters, but obviously it wasn't right back there, because we did touch just briefly. I better pay more attention here. Now it's 1 meter. Bit of a beaver dam there, probably abandoned. And then it opens back up into another lake up here. That's a heck of a boat launch. Pretty good.
Awesome.
No way out of this lake other than the way I came through, right?
Yeah, just that.
Just back through there.
Yeah. Going to jump off the rocks for your video?
You know what? Where are you going to jump?
Oh, right over here.
Absolutely. I've done that in the last 2 videos, and I got to put it in slow-mo so I can slow it right down. 1, 2, 3, go! That's a great jump. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, no worries. What's your YouTube channel?
Yukon Bob.
All right, sounds good.
It'll be a couple of weeks because I'm a few weeks ahead right now, so 2 or 3 weeks. Check it out though.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. Okay. Fantastic. So we've got another jump off a cliff in the video. It's always good to see that. So Greg, that's about 4 videos in a row of people jumping off cliffs for me.
Got a knack for it.
Very cool. It is just so quiet in here. You can just kind of hear the birds chirping. Shut the engine off, and it's so still out today. Sky is overcast. The water's fairly dark in color in this part of Georgian Bay, but so quiet except for the sound of that Sea-Doo coming towards me back there. I think that's Greg. I can hear the engine. I think he's exploring around the edges of the lake. It's gonna throw a little wake. I don't know what this is. Is this fish farming, I wonder? I bet this is fish farming. They're probably raising fish in these pens in here. I've never seen this before. I didn't know this was here. But I bet you that's what this is. This is fish farming. Because it goes all the way down there. There's all these massive pens out here. And I'm pretty sure they're full of fish. Can I see? Oh yeah, I see fish. I see fish splashing in the water in there, inside there. So that's what this is, fish farming. Wow, I didn't know this was here. And these are massive pens. I wonder what species they're raising in here. Probably could look it up online and find out, but I don't know off the top of my head. Is it pickerel? Is it salmon? I don't think it'd be salmon. The birds are waiting for a free meal. And it goes all the way back here. This whole bay in here is full of these fish farming pens. Huh. They've actually got netting over the tops of all of these things. I suppose, yeah, so the birds can't dive down and grab them out of the water when they're smaller. So they've got nets over the whole thing. Even on the sides, there's nets all the way around the sides, so birds can't get in there. Fish farming. Fish farming. I didn't know this was here.
Big place.
Well, we've learned something new on this trip today. Neither one of us knew that this was out here. Maybe I could get a fish to take home with me. Yeah, I'm sure they'd like that. Well, all of a sudden we're into 1 or 2 foot swells out here, so I think we're gonna wind this video up here, guys. It turned out not to be the most exciting day on the water. It certainly wasn't the day I had planned for today. It turned out to be an entirely different location, entirely different place from where I was originally going. And that's what happens sometimes. Things change and the situation has to be adaptable, and that's what we did today. So at least I got out on the water today. Not the most exciting video, but Parry Sound, the inner harbor of the sound of Parry Sound, through that whole area, just looking around. The rain held off this afternoon. We certainly got a lot of it this morning further north from here, where we were originally going to go up to Sturgeon Bay Provincial Park. Have to save that one for another trip, another day. That is a nice area of Georgian Bay out there, and I'd like to show that to you guys at some other point down the road. Ojibwe Island, there's a really bunch of neat things out there, the McCoy Islands, but we'll save that one for another day. Thanks for coming along on this Yukon Bob video. Not sure what we're doing from here. I was planning on doing another trip tomorrow out of this area, but I'll have to reassess the weather and we'll see about that. So stay safe on the water, everybody. We'll see you on the next Yukon Bob video. Thanks for clicking in. Bye for now.